Well, let's cross live then to New Delhi, speak to our correspondent Mandakini Gahlot, who joins us from there. Unprecedented times, of course, there, but how are these measures actually going down with people?
Unprecedented indeed, Stuart, but not surprising. A lot of Indian states, especially the large metropolitan cities, had already enforced lockdowns, and now this is a total ban on coming out of your homes, as the Prime Minister said yesterday. And he did not mince his words. He said to 1.3 billion people that if you cannot handle the next 21 days, then this country will go back 21 years. Now, his government faces a staggering challenge in the weeks to come. There are countless millions of Indians who don't have homes to live in, for example. So when the Prime Minister says, stay put where you are, stay in your homes, you have to keep in mind that there are so many people in India who don't have homes. Now, there are migrant workers in cities who've powered India's economy in the last, in recent decades, with public transport coming to a grinding halt. A lot of these people don't have anywhere to go back to. So last night, there were a lot of people on the streets, people crowding around bus stations and train stations, even though there are no buses, there are no trains. The government is building makeshift shelters. Again, you have to keep in mind, even if people stay in homes, millions of people in India, especially in urban centers, live in very densely packed clusters where it's not odd to find 5 or 6 or even 10 people living or sharing one room, where hundreds of people sharing one toilet. So a huge challenge ahead in the weeks to come.
And also we've seen, as we've seen in other countries around the world, a lot of panic buying there, and presumably that's brought a lot of people very closely together as well.
Absolutely. Now, the Prime Minister did not outline very clearly in his speech that essential services will not be interrupted. The government issued notifications later last night that this was the case. But the fact is that there's always been free movement between Indian states. And with the unprecedented shutting down of borders, you have supplies that are stuck on state borders, thousands of trucks that cannot get in with essential supplies, long queues last night outside shops across the country, putting people in even more danger. In fact, the Prime Minister was forced to tweet an hour after his speech, assuring people that supplies will reach you. You will continue to have access to essential services. In Uttar Pradesh, which is a state of 200 million people, the Chief Minister announced that supplies would be delivered to people's doorstep. Now, it's hard to imagine how they will, how they'll be able to implement something so ambitious. And also keep in mind that India's healthcare infrastructure was crumbling even before all of this. And for the moment, all essential health services too have been stopped. Hospitals have clearly said, please do not approach the hospitals unless you have a COVID-19 related issue. So panic buying, particularly of medicines and food, and it will certainly take a few days for the supply chain to resume.
Mandakini Gahlot joining us there live from New Delhi. Thanks.